So yeah, it's official. After nearly 4 years of posting my art on Instagram, I quit. Or at least for the most part. What I mean is that I've deleted Instagram from my phone, and have actually had it deleted from my phone for a couple months now, but I still have kind of been posting here and there from time to time, but I think that's officially gonna come to a close. The longer and longer I've been on Instagram, the more and more I seem to really be unhappy with it. Now, getting rid of Instagram isn't supposed to be an overnight solution to really any problem I was having, but I just figured it was the first step in kind of becoming the artist I want to be and becoming the person I want to be. Now, before we get into the full conversation and before we start bashing Instagram, I just want to make a disclaimer that this is not trying to dissuade anyone from using Instagram. It's not trying to dissuade any artist from posting their art there, because I had a lot of fun there. And I still do from time to time, but I think at this point the cons outweigh the pros. So with that out of the way, let's get into why I left Instagram. So the first reason is that Instagram just started to become a huge waste of time. I was spending a lot of time watching reels and looking at really dumb posts that, first of all, I didn't care about in the first place, but they were starting to make me they would put me in a terrible mood, honestly. And so I realized that I was just spending way too much time on Instagram. And I'm sure you guys have noticed that too. I hear a lot of people speaking about how, social media and just time consumption is just something that a lot of people have been dealing with. And more specifically, it started to become really easy to waste a lot of time with the way that Instagram was pushing reels. You would go on Instagram, try to interact with your art friends and leave comments and just try to interact with all the other artists that were there. But then all of a sudden you would look up and then you would have wasted an hour or an hour and a half looking at shorts or reels that had nothing to do with anything you cared about. And so I realized that there was really no other way to stop doing this besides to just cut it cold turkey. Or of course as close to cold turkey as I could. The next thing that sort of turned me off from Instagram was the amount of spam and bots that I saw. So when you would post, or at least when I would post something on Instagram, the first interaction you would get would be those basic spam comments that say DM us for promo or send this to art spot whatever. And that started to get really annoying because the people I wanted to see my art was, new people, my art friends and all that stuff. But it seemed like the people that were seeing my art were pretty much just robots, and that was kind of disheartening, I'd say. And not only were these bots flooding into comment sections, but they were also starting to go into DMs, and that was really uncomfortable, to be honest with you. You'd get a DM that was saying hey, do you sell commissions? And then all of a sudden it would be a bot talking about NFTs and all this other stuff that I don't really care about. And that just made it, I don't know, started to make it a bad taste in my mouth for Instagram. Now, occasionally here on YouTube I will get a spam comment, but it's nowhere near the same frequency as it would be on Instagram, which I like. And sort of going along with the bot talk and the spam talk, I also noticed that the longer and longer that I had been on Instagram, it seemed like the less and less people I was reaching, and the less and less new people I was reaching as well. When I started out, it seemed like, hashtags worked pretty well, and just posting pictures consistently worked pretty well to get yourself out there. I also used to occasionally participate in art challenges and draw this sort of prompts or whatever. But I noticed that as I kept going on, it seemed like that wasn't enough to sort of keep growing a following on Instagram. It seemed like what they really wanted was for you to make shorts and to make them consistently, which I did for some time, but ultimately I didn't want to keep it up. And that's not to say that shorts are bad, because I've made my fair share of shorts in the past. I even made one not too long ago. But I definitely haven't been making them consistently because I don't like to watch shorts, so I don't really want to make shorts, but I'm sure I will eventually in the future. So definitely post that in the comments, if you think shorts are annoying or if you think that they're actually fun and you like to watch them. Just let me know, because I really have been kind of back and forth. I think some people really like them and are almost addicted to them, but I think a lot of people have a distaste for them, and I kind of do as well. The next reason is that Instagram sort of like incited this jealousy and this sort of comparative thinking in me that I really don't like to have to deal with. And I guess you could kind of have this sort of thinking anywhere or on any social media platform, but I feel like it was exacerbated by the fact that there's so much being shown on Instagram. The explore page, or whatever it's called, there's like 70 different images at once. There's a bunch of reels, and I just felt like every time I saw something, there was like comparing my art to them or comparing my account to them, and I just felt like it wasn't becoming something productive as much as it was becoming a sort of tool to I guess worsen my self-esteem, or to worsen the way I saw my art or my success on the app. So I figured it was probably best for me to just go ahead and stop. And of course there is that same sort of opportunity for that kind of thinking to come about on YouTube, but I feel like it's much, or at least a little bit harder to sort of feel that way, because in a long form video you kind of get a little bit of people's personalities, and it sort of rationalizes things for you. But when you're just seeing someone post on Instagram, and it can be really easy to feel like this is just a perfect robot that makes perfect art, and you're just a bad artist and everyone else is better than you. But I feel like here on YouTube it's a little more, at least getting that bit of people's personalities and seeing their process makes everything a little more reasonable, and like everybody's kind of on the same playing field, at least. And with all that being said, I don't think Instagram is bad, or I don't think it's a terrible site to be on, because I actually had a lot of fun times. I started my art career, I guess you could say, on Instagram. I believe it was August 2020. I'll try to put some of those old pictures up because I think they are kind of funny. But yeah, I had a lot of fun, I made a lot of friends on Instagram. So if you're one of those people and you happen to watch my YouTube, that'd be cool. If you guys got in contact, that'd be cool. But yeah, I had a lot of fun on Instagram, and I just think it's time to move on. And I think YouTube is kind of a fresh take on making art or on making content nowadays. So yeah, I think that's probably where I'm going to be staying for quite a while, I hope. And so as we come to a close, I hope that you enjoyed the little conversation, and I hope that you enjoyed the painting as well. I think it turned out pretty cool. So the top video is going to be a video that YouTube thinks you would like, and the bottom video is going to be one that I think you would like if you enjoyed this one. Thanks. See you later.